Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Porsche Panamera 4. Huge shout out to Hendrik Porsche for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This Panamera is finished off in Gentina Blue Metallic, and with options, MSRP is just over $143,000. This is powered by the 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. It's paired to the 8-speed PDK transmission and pumps out 348 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive. It weighs in around 4,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds with a top speed up to 170 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 23.7 gallons. You'll expect to see 18 miles per gallon in the city, 25 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 116.1 inches. Its overall length is 198.9. It has a width of 76.3, a height of 56, and its ground clearance measures in at 5 inches. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice up front very large housings for the headlights and high beams, with a dark housing as well, just to blend in nicely. The turn signals are actually mounted in the lower trim accents, where you'll also notice there's a lot of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling for all of the components up front. There's even some active grille shutters right in the middle there, which will open and close as needed. There's also parking sensors, a sensor front and center right in the middle for the distance pacing and some of those tech features. And you'll notice there's another cutout separated by the bodywork in that upper section. There's also a few crisp lines coming down the hood and some nice bodywork that goes off of the back of the headlights. So that entire rear fender there. Now, this model also has an optional set of 21-inch wheels with the two-tone design, that multi-spoke pattern, and there's also gray calipers for this. You'll notice there's some black accents for the lower section of the bumper. It's also on the side skirt there. And then with the power folding side mirrors, the mirror cap itself is finished off in body colored with a gloss black base. There's also a camera and a turn signal. Some chrome accents for both the window trim and the door handles there. And there's actually a dual pane sunroof for your front and rear passengers. And then you'll notice there's a trim accent just behind that front tire with some lines that flow down it, right underneath the door handle too. Now in back, there's also the deployable spoiler, so I have that up at the moment just to take a look at it. There's also LEDs for all of the lighting, backup camera, parking sensors, and the quad tip dual exhaust. And then to work our way to the cargo space, you can use the release underneath or the control on the key fob. And the Panamera is basically a hatchback. So we don't have that traditional opening for the trunk, allowing you to place in some more items. So you have a very deep compartment here, and there's also a little bit under the floor. So you could place some on that right side there. There's some battery components on the left. And then there's also some tie downs. There's a 12 volt, and then you can remove this cover and fold the back seats down to place in some larger items. So if this is your only vehicle and you want something a little bit more practical, you can definitely fit in quite a lot of items and make this a perfect daily driving vehicle. Now, this also has proximity door handles in all four corners, and then we're greeted with the limestone beige interior. Really nice combo with this blue. This also has Bose for the audio. You'll notice this gloss black trim accent, lock and unlock with a release handle. That trim piece is nicely integrated. And then there's the window control and a grab handle too. Now, according to the window sticker, this is a 2+1. So I believe the middle seat is actually an option for the Panamera. So that way you can have 3 people back here. There's also the Porsche branded pillows that are attached, and the release is next to that headrest. So that way you can fold the back seats down and you have a large opening to place in some more items and a really neat design for these seats. Now at 5'10", hopping into the back, I do have a good bit of space. You'll notice there's some storage pockets, you have vents in the middle, and then there's the climate adjustments. So you can go through all this information. There's a little bit of storage in front of that. And then I have about an inch or so of headroom. Pillows are really comfortable there too, and I like the bolster support. You kind of sink down into the seat just a little bit. So this is comfortable. I could go on a trip and be comfortable. Your middle seat passenger may be a little bit tight, but if you're not using it all that often, it's going to be relatively easy to use. You also have some cup holders with the armrest, and you can also fold this middle seat down too if you need to gain access to some of those items. You'll notice too there's that small window in the pillar, so that way you can see around that section much easier. And then up front, there's memory seating adjustments, window controls, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding, and then the liftgate release, and then some more storage down below and more trim accents for the door panel. Panamera 4 is also an illumination for the door sill, and then you have a similar design with the Porsche emblem in the top of the headrest there, and they are automatic, so all those controls are down on the side. And then as we hop in, we're greeted with a solid black leather steering wheel. There's also some brushed gray accents for the paddle shifters, but let's start this up with my foot on the brake. That is over on the left side, and we can bring this to life. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, there's quite a lot of information to go through using the controls on the right side of the steering wheel. So for this current configuration, if I push on this far right button, you'll notice the blue light up for all of the gauge cluster settings. Once it's highlighted, then you can use the rotary dial to scroll up and down. So there's a little bit of information on the left side. Once you scroll through the middle, this will actually change the whole gauge cluster setting itself. So depending on what you would like to see, you have a few that you can go through, which is really neat. So those are all prefixed, and then when you go back to one of these settings, you can get to some information on the right side. So it's neat just depending on how you'd like to view that. You'll also notice there's Bluetooth, there's a back button, and then a driving mode dial below. So you can go for this model between normal and sport. And then on the left side, there's voice commands, a favorites button, and then tuning and volume. Cruise control is the stock on the left. There's also headlight adjustments, fog lights, this neat gloss black trim accent. There's leather for the dash along with the head-up display. And then with the infotainment system, you have a lot more to go through. So on this left side, you'll notice that this is fixed, so you can easily get through all of this information, and there's a ton of icons to gain access to. If you go under vehicle, you can get through your driving modes and the rest of those settings there. You can also look at some of the daily driving information and configure all of this, your ambient lighting, passenger seat, your rear entry, all of that information, and then quickly get back into home, and you can swipe down for more icons. So you can get into all of these as needed. There's also a shortcut to the navigation along with your music and phone when that is paired, and a shortcut to this information that I already showed. So pretty easy to see, and you'll notice on this left side, park is on the top, and then with this toggle, simply flip it up, and that provides you with your camera, and then you have the rest of the shortcuts that you can get into, and you can even pull up different angles as well. There's the forward-facing camera too, once you put it into drive, and then of course you can get through the rest of these, and you can go around the whole vehicle. So you have plenty of visibility for this model. There's also air vents underneath that, and then a neat layout for all of the climates. There's also the heated and ventilated seats, temperature adjustments, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. The volume knob is behind that. You can also push on it for mute, and then there's sync, even a climate menu too. So when you push on that, you can even get into the rear climate adjustments and do everything from up front, which is nice, and go through the rest of this information just depending on what you need to see. Now behind that, you can open up this compartment where there's wireless charging and some auxiliaries, and then there's cup holders. You get a little bit of space with this divider and a 12 volt in the back section, and then just a piano black trim accent for your passenger side, plenty of storage in the glove box. There's garage door buttons up top. There's also dome lights and then controls for both sunshades. So that control on the right is for your backseat passengers, and then you have the one up front for your front seat. So very easy to adjust both of those. Only the sunroof up front will open, of course. The rear glass is fixed. And then with a look at visibility, it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. As we set up behind the wheel for the Porsche Panamera, it's been quite some time since I've been able to drive this model, and it's nice to get into the latest model to see what it's like. Now, I have been able to drive some of the other 26-year models from Porsche, so the interior is going to be fairly similar to some of the other models that I've reviewed, so you can take a look at our channel for the 911s, the GTSs that I have been able to take a look at. This is a really nice vehicle from Porsche because you have that hatchback design to give you extra practicality. This could be your only vehicle. It would be a phenomenal daily driving car, and there's a lot of options and some different powertrains that you can get with the Panamera. So I do have some reviews of some of their other models, so you can take a look at those as well. And if you want something that's full EV, you can go with the Taycan. The Panamera has not offered that, but you do have the Taycan, which is basically the EV version. But the Panamera is very nice. So let's put it into sport mode now. This one doesn't have a ton of performance settings for it, but we can put it into the manual setting here. And from second gear, which will appear by the speedometer, we'll give it a slight acceleration. And the PDK is going to be very instant. It's one of the best automatic transmissions available, super quick, very responsive. And while this isn't one of the higher trim levels, with even more power, you can get the turbo version, which is pretty much double the horsepower. This is still very fun to drive. Very sporty too, which is nice. And it has a lot more potential than what I'm doing today. But it's also very comfortable and quiet. The adaptive suspension is also going to make this a very nice ride. You can raise it up slightly just for better ground clearance. So it would be a great daily driver, especially with that, but it's also going to absorb bumps very well. And you have different options with the suspension too. So when you go into vehicle, you can go into the chassis, you can go from normal, sport, and a sport plus. So if you wanted a little bit stiffer, maybe you're on some back roads, I would still say it's a vehicle that you could take on some back roads. You're probably not doing some performance style driving, but it's going to give you a really nice handling vehicle. Now for the driver's seat here at 5'10", I have about 2.5 inches of headroom, and this is a height adjustable seat. So I can go down a lot more, and you could be 6 feet tall and still fit in this. And there's also the automatic steering wheel, so there's an adjustment underneath that to get this nice and comfortable. And still in sport mode, second gear, here we go. And just a mild acceleration. It's a pretty quiet vehicle too, so it's not loud by any means. There's no exhaust settings. You just have your driving modes and the suspension basically, along with being able to deploy that spoiler. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Panamera 4. Really nice place to be. Visibility is great too, so there's the thin pillars up front here. And again, it would make for a great daily driver, fairly spacious as well. And it is neat that you can get this as a 5-seater. The middle seat is going to be something you may or may not use. So just depending on if you think you need 3 for the rear there, it's going to be a more comfortable 4-seater just to have that additional option if needed. And it's a comfortable place to be. I like the bolster support on the seats as well. And while there's a minimal amount of controls down below, I think Porsche did a great job with all of the climates. That is something that a lot of manufacturers seem to place in the screen, and a lot of people really honestly don't like that. So Porsche did it well with everything down below here, but it's also a very sensitive touchscreen system. So when you need to use it, it's super easy to go through. I wouldn't say it's overcomplicated, so you basically have the basics for what you need in a daily driver, and then it's really easy to go through the rest of it. So the layout is great, and it's a super fun vehicle to drive. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Porsche Panamera 4. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrik Porsche for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.